LOOSH
What they're looking
explained.
for is for us to be sick to our stomach, to feel pain, to feel grief and sorrow. That's looshing. Okay, so we know when our parents die, when our children die, when we go through the death process, massive looshing. We can't help that. We feel, but it is looshing. All the wars, looshing. All of the natural disasters that are made by weather programs, right? Your hurricanes, tornadoes, fires, all of it, looshing. Endless looshing. The animal's afraid. We're afraid. The children are afraid. You can't go outside and play in the street anymore as a child. Looshing. Video games. Looshing. Cartoons. Looshing. Sex. Looshing. You say sex is looshing? Absolutely. Because it's a high energy. Anytime you leave the middle of the road, when you move out of being the observer, staying calm, staying in peace, just staying as an observing being, you start moving into loosh producing. And we can't help it sometimes, but we need to work on it. Okay, so what I'd like to do is I'd like to ask, I'm just going to go ahead, Carrie, I'm opening up the mic to you. Would you like to take it away from here and share?
Got a couple of thoughts that kind of came up as you were talking. Uh, it definitely, LOOSH is the result of a debt-based system, and that is exactly what we live in under this last reset, and probably several more before that, smaller ones. Whoever the main architect or whatever that's in control, it's their system. And I'm of the idea that if we can learn that what their system is, then we can also learn how we can get out through that system. So LOOSH indicates the debt system. We acquire debt either to our knowledge or without our knowledge of when we break their alleged rules or laws. And so that's one way that we create LOOSH for lack of knowledge about the system and the things that create the LOOSH. And then having the second way to create it is through, just as Raven was saying, those strong emotional outputs. These can be in positive or negative. It's when we go to the extreme one way or the other, and we leave the observation deck of the middle of the road. It doesn't mean that we have no opinion. It's just that we're not adding the electrochemical, biological, and electrical aspects to that emotion so that other things that are vampirish in nature can feast off of that. We are crucial for the feeding and nurturing it as it is of this plane. I don't even like to call it a planet anymore, unless it's a small plane, which it could be. But the nourishment that we provide, it makes me wonder. I don't know how many have seen the movie The Eternals, where Arishem in the movie reveals that the whole reason that he claims he made the humans or put them on the earth was to feed another entity lower than but like himself, and then it would emerge from the earth, ultimately destroying it. Of course, that goes along with a globe type view of the earth, so that it would be in that case kind of like an egg that hatches. But
let me get going on this one. So when we're creating LOOSH, and Carrie was absolutely right, and this is a total debt lack system. And not only that, not only do we have and hold the debt for ourselves. So when we're born into this life, and we're docked at the birth, and then we're lost at sea, which generally starts around conception, anyways, according to them. That would be the shadow entities and their framework of the maritime system. But once that occurs, then and the birth certificate is created by the parents not knowing, and then the social security card is applied for by the parents not knowing. We have now been moved into the taxation system, right? And the taxation, we look at that as a financial taxation, but it's more than that, you guys. It's a total emotional taxation, a psychological taxation, a physical taxation, because of all the entities that live on this plane of existence, we're the only ones that have to pay to be here. We have to pay for everything to be here, right? For housing, for food. Yeah, okay, you're back. All right, I'll wrap it up and we'll put you back on. Good. So, we're paying for food, we're paying for clothes, we're paying for housing, we're paying for electricity. Pretty soon we'll be paying for our air if we allow them to continue to storm in against us, you guys. And it is up to us. Okay? So all of this creates this debt system. Like, you have to live here, you go into debt. But we are paying for the debt of our parents, our grandparents, and our lineage. And people say, oh, well, you know what, Raven, it's only 7 generations and we heal 7 generations and we, whatever they come up with. But it's not, you guys. It's 23 generations. So it's 23 generations previous to us, including us, and then 23 generations in our future, including us. So 23 generations. Remember 23andMe, that company, to take our DNA, our genetics? Okay? They tell us everything. We just have to be able to read the codes. So 23 generations back and forward. That's debt lack. Okay? You think that these predators have to pay for anything? Everything for them is paper. Everything is about shuffling and paperwork. They don't. So if the Rothschilds have, $20 trillion and Gates has $175 billion, or whatever the lies are, it's all on paper. It has nothing to do with cash, right? So they're constantly having access to all the benefits of this realm without having any kind of debt system whatsoever. That's been placed on humanity and humanity alone, because the animals don't have a high enough consciousness or shishness to be propelled into having to owe something. What are they going to owe? But they pay with their lives. They pay with reduction of land. They pay with trauma. They pay with fear, because we live in a world that is designed through duality, and that duality, thank you, Tracy, and that duality looks like predator and prey.